to the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Bears.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They go play action here on first down. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action with Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Again, this is Kelly. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
No, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
First and goal, Kelly. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Let's go. What?
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go.
On second down, Ryan. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Here we go now.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performer.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. In for the score. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A very solid gain of 27. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Come on, let's go!
From the gun, Melton. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. But a look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Come on, let's go! What? 9!
Operating from the gun. Melton, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Hey, 4 down. Set! Green, 39!
On the carry is Kelly. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. 1 quarter in the books. 14-3, that's our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Here we go now!
Ryan now off the bootleg. And caught left side, Olsen. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
All right, here we go. Green!
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Come on, let's go.
To throw on second down. Melton going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. 38.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Shoves him aside, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he finds your man on the crossing route. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw again, Melton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, Melton. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Here we
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Looking to throw on second down. Melton, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Let's go. What? 90.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that.
He's got daylight. 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. 91 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. That one good for a 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Caught it just inside the 10 at the 9, and his feet did the rest. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Let's go.
Off the bootleg. Melton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Bears take over. On Onto the field now come the Bears. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Set. 319. 319.
Off the bootleg. Ryan. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Throwing again. Ryan over the middle, complete. It's Hansen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Kelly. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Melton. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Looking to throw. Melton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on 1st down, Melton, and that is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Melton. Wide open. open receiver complete. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Operating from the gun, Melton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw. Melton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Sack, baby! Sack!
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
On the run, it's Kelly. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. We'll begin in the NFC West. Arizona heading up north to take on Seattle. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. The Seahawks trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Huskies still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On second down, Hill. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Let's go! What? None! What? None!
From the gun on third down. Melton toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here we go! What? None!
Throwing on third and long. Melton. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go! Brand 38!
From the gun, Melton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Come on, let's go! White, 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Come on, let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And this is caught at the 8. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 1st downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Kelly. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Ryan will throw again. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
He's going to get it running right. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Melton toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Here we go. White, none. White, none.
Off the play fake. Melton. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off play action. Melton. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Melton. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run with Kelly. Look at the spin. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan hit, and he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, Melton. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Melton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Let's go. 38.
To throw on third down, Melton. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passers, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here's Ryan. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. This is Kelly. Room to run past midfield. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
To throw on second down, Melton. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Operating from the gun, Melton. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Forcing the incomplete pass on 4th down and then roughing the passer.
Your offense was ready to roll, ready to get out on the field and take over. Instead, self-inflicted. Now they have to stay on the field and play.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Let's go. 38.
Looking to throw. Melton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to throw. Melton. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On second down, here's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Play action. Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders get a score closer. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will shave one more off this lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And out across midfield down to the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They run with it. It's counted. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's third and 3.
3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. This is Kelly. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll go again with Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Kelly. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They're all through now, by the way, in Santa Clara. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
From the gun, Melton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock.
Here we go! Red 38!
From the gun on third down. Melton looking middle, and that's complete. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Throwing on first down. Melton going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.